Okay, so I'm going to describe a strategy I call land and expand. It's a partnership strategy. It's a strategy to get more referrals from partners. And then I'm going to talk you through a few other levers you can pull to make sure you are known to your partners for a specific type of referral and you're top of mind as well for those partners. If you're doing this elsewhere, you can apply this to any marketplace ecosystem that you're in. But I was on the call with this agency. They are OptaBlack. I'm going to go to their profile here so you can see what I mean. And one of the things that's important about this agency is they are Mixpanel experts. They're sourcing, I think, 60% of their revenue from their Mixpanel partnerships. And the first thing I noticed when I was on the call with them describing the same strategy is they didn't mention Mixpanel at all in their description. And the fact that they are the Mixpanel experts, they're the go-to agency for Mixpanel. And the reason why I am suggesting to make sure that you are known for one specific ecosystem and a service in that ecosystem is because it's very difficult as human beings, as companies, to remember that when I'm talking to a customer about Mixpanel, to think of OptaBlack. It's very tough when OptaBlack is presenting themselves as a very general software development firm for me to remember them when specifically a Mixpanel conversation is happening. But if I met OptaBlack and they were just kept drilling down the fact that they are so good at Mixpanel and they've covered so many projects and they can do so much awesome stuff with Mixpanel, anytime I'm on a call with a customer and a Mixpanel comes up, I'm going to remember OptaBlack. Now, it's called a land and expand strategy because that's the first step is, okay, figure out an ecosystem that you want to expand into. You're going to land one, maybe multiple partners, but at least one partner in that ecosystem. So another one, I was on a call with a Magento, I think it was a product and an agency today, and they're looking for more Magento 1 users, but they want agencies that are working on Magento 1 to Magento 2 conversion. That doesn't matter. But the point is, if I was that company, I would come into an ecosystem, LinkedIn, Partner Hub, Clutch, whatever, and I'd start with an ecosystem and I'd say, okay, well, let's find a core group of partners who all know each other. So it's not me going to Automation Links and me going to Blend and me going to Audacious and partnering with each of those. It's me going straight to one of these companies, getting that partnership connection, and then going through them to their connections and partnering with their partners' partners that are in that same ecosystem. So again, the Magento keyword, I would say, okay, well, I found Hawk Media through the Magento keyword. I assume they're doing something with Magento. Now I'm going to go and look at their connection, spelled with a K. I know it is spelled wrong, but this is our feature. It's called Connections, and it allows you to partner with Hawk Media's partners, or at least request a connection. So I'm going to say, okay, well, Hawk Media has 81 of these partner connections. Okay, check these guys out. I'm going to try to get as many of these connected partners as I can so that not only am I relying on Hawk Media to remember who I am, but there's a strong likelihood that Hawk Media has shared customers with these people. And if that customer is on a call with Hawk Media and Hawk Media can't refer them to 5 different people all at the same time, but they'll maybe make one referral over to Accessibility. Okay, now Accessibility is on the call, but because I am both partners with Hawk Media and Accessibility, Hawk Media may send the referral with the context, and then my contact at Accessibility may say, oh, well, did you also refer them to Alex and Partner Hub? They would be a great fit for them as well. And Hawk Media says, oh, shoot, I forgot. Can you do it? And now that web is taking effect. That land and expand strategy is taking effect. If I just partner with a company here and then I go to a company there, but they're not connected, the likelihood that they'll remember me at the right time with the right context goes way down because there's just not enough of a netting there to make that referral come back to me at one point. We call it circles. That's part of our build of this circles feature here, but that's what we want to form. So land and expand and do it per ecosystem. So you may not be in one ecosystem. You may be in HubSpot and Salesforce. Find your core partner in HubSpot that has connections already made. They've already been partnering, and then go deeper in. The next part about the strategy, whether you're an agency or a tech user of Partner Hub, we have a broadcast system, but you can do this again through your own email, social posts. I want to remind everybody that I am that, in this case, Mixpanel or Magento, whatever ecosystem expert that you want to plug in there. I want to remind them that, and I want to create more partners in that ecosystem, yes, and I want to make sure that our mutual customers see my name associated with that ecosystem as often as possible. So in this case, I'd say create what we call an opportunity. If you're a tech user of Partner Hub, it'd be a live offer, and do a co-marketing opportunity that recruits experts in the funnel that are around your implementation or your expertise. You're an expert in implementing Mixpanel. Well, what else needs to be there? Okay, well, there needs to be some level of maybe CRO product on the website, like Hotjar or something. Okay, what about Google Analytics? What about AI? What about all the things that need to happen before and after Mixpanel? Figure out what those are and create an opportunity to create a webinar, event, podcast, article that puts you and that other expert in the article. You're talking about the Mixpanel side. They're talking about the Google Analytics, Hotjar, whatever. And it's how to do blank with blank and Mixpanel. And again, this is both recruiting the experts in the funnel, but it's also reminding the audience here, because it does syndicate out to our entire user base, or not entire, but user base that meet these criteria. It reminds them that you're that Mixpanel expert. And then the blog post goes live, or the podcast goes live, or the event happens, webinar happens, and it's you and that keyword, that ecosystem keyword. And now you're continuing to expand and infiltrate that ecosystem, and also reminding your partners that you exist, and you exist for services in that ecosystem. And I say services, but if you're a software company listening, just replace service, but product. You're the app to do blank in that ecosystem. So figure out what those ecosystems are, fill your buckets, post opportunities, recruit partners to those opportunities related to the ecosystem. Use your partners as that next step. That will also create efficiency in your program, because they're groups of individuals that can enable each other. If it's just you and 11Site and you and Adjustable, but you're not partnering with any of these 11 right here, you're creating a lot of singular interactions and relationships that need to be managed one-to-one. Whereas if I'm partnered with these three and 11Site, 11Site remembers what to do in my program and reminds them, and they mention me on a call a month later, which reminds 11Site to reach out to me, and it becomes this circle. All right, that's all I'll say about this. And then one other thing about circles is we are gathering a list of the initial circles that will be a part of our launch. If you would like to be the owner, the admin, the person that gets to dictate that circle and be more or less exclusive, meaning what if you wanted to be the owner of the EMEA Magento 1 stores circle, which means anybody in Partner Hub that wants to also sell to Magento stores in EMEA would have to knock on your door, request access to that circle, and then once inside, they're actually required to add leads to the circle. And if they go stale and stop contributing, you can boot them out and replace them with somebody else. If you want to be that person, please fill out this form. I'll link to this as well. That's that. Thank you so much. Hope it helped.